What's a harmless prank to play on your friends? Put up a framed photo of a total stranger somewhere in their house, where it will probably take a few days for them to notice. When one of your friends gets married, sign the guest book with a random name, and put a really ugly present on the gift table from the same person. Do you have a friend or uncle or something named Gary Smith? Me neither. Well, we got this ceramic mermaid with a clock in her belly. Cool. Apostrophe. In Sweden I was waiting for my turn at the counter at the pharmacy. You take a ticket, and it has a number on it and that's your turn. When it shows up on a board over the counter, they let you know when the number on the board goes up by playing a tune. In this case it sounded like doo-doo, so I was waiting, and heard the doo-doo sound. Looked at the board. No change. Counter people had no reaction. Other people in line looked up, and were also confused. About a minute later the sound went off again. People were confused. I thought it sounded off. Twice more I figured out it was the old man next to me playing off the sound on his phone. I gave him a pat on the shoulder, but didn't say anything. So much fun. My dad's best friend put one of those security strips under the insole of his shoe. Every time he went to the store the alarm would go off and eventually he had them scan all of his belongings because he couldn't stand it. Went on for nearly a month before he realized it was only the one pair of shoes and his buddy came clean. I told everyone at work it was the manager's birthday. It wasn't. It started spreading so fast that by the time he came in for his shift, he had about 30 people come up and wish him a happy birthday. He thought he was going crazy. My dad used to work with this guy who was very shy and easy to prank because of how sincere he was. We went and met up with him for dinner years after my dad stopped working with him. As a joke my dad thought it would be funny to pretend it was his birthday and have the staff do their birthday song at our table. He looked up at my dad very confused and was like, "Pat, I can't believe you remembered that today was my birthday." My dad just played it off like he was a great friend and never said anything. This is more for the workplace. Put up a sign next to the communal printer / photocopier saying something like, "Due to COVID, this machine is now voice activated. Sit back and enjoy." My colleague glued a £2 coin outside the lab doors and surreptitiously filmed everyone attempting to acquire it as inconspicuously as possible. He then truncated the footage and imposed the "Never Gonna Give You Up" music onto the video that culminated with his raucous laughter. We all received our personal videos via WhatsApp. My friend that sits next to me at work was on vacation and my vacation started the day she got back. I packed up all my stuff and locked it in my desk drawers, and when she came back I got a panic text asking what happened and why. Was my desk clear? I told her I got fired. She believed it for 2 days before one of the managers made me come clean because she was trying to snag all my shifts for rotten extra holiday pay. My friend really hates a particular movie, so every time I see a copy at Goodwill or wherever for super cheap I buy it and mail it to them. Buy a pack of stick-on googly eyes. Go to friend's house, apply to one thing, and see how long it takes them to notice. Did this to a friend's eagle statuette, and they didn't notice for like 2 years. Cracked me up every time I went over there. I put a browser extension on my coworker's computer that gave it a 1% chance of loading a John Cena video every time he loaded a website. It would happen once or twice a day. It drove him nuts. On his last day, I walked into his office playing John Cena's walk-up music, which he immediately turned off. When I explained it to him, his only reaction was, "I'm so impressed." My brother, for the course of about 3 years, mailed his friend random newspaper clippings. No return address. The articles were not linked in any way. They didn't appear threatening. Just random everyday articles. He finally told the guy and he about passed out from relief. He was so paranoid about it. Changing around the inside part of their pens is amusing. See them briefly, think they lost their mind. Doesn't work as well on me cause I'm colorblind. I kept reading pens as penis for some reason. I was so confused / concerned / curious. I think I need to take a break from Reddit for a while. I just put in a dozen reminders on Alexa at my brother's house that will come up the next 6 months, usually during dinner or breakfast, when they should all be around. Remind me in 2 months at 7 PM that Tyler's but smells remind me on October 7th at 7:15 AM. That uncle is awesome and smells like rainbows and unicorn farts. He has a bunch of kids, so I think they will laugh while edit. Wow. Thanks for the awards. I'm a general prankster. My buddy asks me to watch his house while traveling just to see what he'll do. Last time I ordered 250 small bouncy balls, put them in a box at the top of the stairs, and tied a string to the doorknob carefully to the door at the bottom. The light was off, and I guess it sounded like a river. I also used clear nail polish on their soap so it won't lather, and I bought 4 Apple use only stickers to apply to various items. I figured the Reddit community would like more ideas. I always enjoyed putting sticky notes over the laser on their computer mouse and watching them try to figure out why it isn't responding. I did this with a coworker once, and it was hilarious. Instead of a sticky note, I taped a picture of a troll face over the laser. I listened to him make frustrated grumbles to himself for several minutes while I was trying to keep it together. When he finally turned his mouse over, he yelled, "Dang it, haunted _ I screamed from across the room, at which point we both lost it. It's an excellent, harmless prank. Definitely recommend. Somebody once signed me up for a bunch of free magazine subscriptions. It was several years ago, and I still have no idea who it was. One day I started receiving a bunch of random magazines, from home gardening to crochet ones, all in my name. I did this to my friend, a grown-ass man getting 3 different subscriptions to youth equestrian magazines. Still haven't confessed, and he brings it up from time to time. Hide excess Pokemon or MTG cards in their stuff. Had a buddy who was finding energy cards years after the initial prank. My roommate and I are slowly purchasing frog decorations and just toy frogs in general, and seeing how long it takes our other roommate to notice that things are slowly becoming frogs. This one made me giggle. I don't know why. Lol, thanks you. Probably because a long-term prank like this requires commitment. Hire a local actor to run into you and your friend while you are somewhere and recognize you as someone famous. Have them start speaking gibberish and you answer back in gibberish before taking a selfie with them. Then have them just leave extremely excited. When your friend asks what that was all about, just say something in gibberish, and when they say what, just say "oh sorry" and say it was nothing, and keep the charade going until your dying day. Put googly eyes on everything in their refrigerator when they're not looking. My dad is a huge swimmer, and we had a backyard pool when I was growing up, but my dad absolutely hated cold water. He always had the pool heated to around 80 to 90 Fahrenheit. The electricity bill in the winter was insane, and he got mad if anyone messed with the pool heater. One year, he had a business trip to Europe and consequently got home really late the night of March 31st. My mom came up with the idea to buy a bunch of ice and then dump it in the pool after my dad went to bed. A bunch of our neighbors caught wind of this and offered to help, which my mom gladly agreed to, and they all brought a bunch of ice too. We left the pool thermometer out on the patio so it wouldn't register the cold water, and then we proceeded what must have been over 100 bags of ice into the pool after turning off the heater, of course. The next morning, when my dad went for a swim, we got woken to the joyous noises of a string of beautifully put together strands of swear words. Ah, the memories. Although he really upped his April Fool's game up big time after that. We have an Alexa at my work. One of my co-workers set an alarm to go off on a day I was at work and she wasn't. At 9 AM it started blasting Baby Shark. Scared the ever-living hell out of me. My old boss did this to his wife just before I moved out of state, except it was while she was home alone, and it was Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" through the whole house. I had a roommate that was a major gym nut. He would have raw eggs in his protein shakes all the time. So one day he did something to annoy me, and that night, when I had a decent buzz going, I hard-boiled all of his eggs and put them back into the refrigerator. The all clear nail polish on a bar of soap is my favorite. Leave a random object on their doorstep during the night. If it confuses them enough, it may mildly bother them for the rest of their life. Randomly point at nothing on the ground. After they leave your place, text them, "You forgot your phone here." Bonus point if you take a picture of their phone on your kitchen table before they leave and send it with the text. On April Fools a few years ago, I wore my name tag upside down at work. Whenever a club member brought it to my attention, I glanced down at it, looked up confused, and said, "It looks right side up to me." One time a friend of mine made a listing on Craigslist for live chickens at I guess an absurdly low price and put his friend's contact information. He got messages and calls all day about picking up the chickens. Every few weeks I turn down the speed of my co-worker's bending machine by like 0.1 mm/secretary. He noticed that his machine takes longer than mine. But first, he doesn't know how to turn it back. Second, he doesn't know it's me. And third, he doesn't know that it will get worse. Line up a round of shots of water and tell everyone it's tequila or some clear liquor. The facial reactions are priceless. My wife and I hang out at our friend's house every Saturday night. My friend's wife is a neat freak. I'll randomly leave bottle caps in weird places in her house every so often. Always get a text the next day with a picture of it and a WTF. A friend of mine sent unmarked postcards featuring different chimpanzees to me about once a week for more than a year. They all had the same message: having a great time. Wish you were here. Love, me. They all misspelled my name in different ways. They came from all over the world. Shed coordinated with a bunch of people she knew internationally. It got to the point where I saw my letter carrier and head shake his head and ask, "Another one?" I never figured out who was sending them until she fessed up. I know this is a Bare Naked Ladies song. I believe that was the inspiration. Back in college I went to Vegas. While I was there I collected hundreds of those cards they hand out on the strip for call girls/escorts. When I got home I put these cards everywhere in my roommate's car. I put most of them on the seats and the floors. But I also hid them in the trunk, under the floor mats, under the seats, in the glove box, in the gas lid. Basically every nook I could think of. He thought the initial cleaning up of the ones on the seats and floors was the end of it. Nope. He was finding these cards for years, and every time he did he'd send me a picture of it. It was great. For my friend's 30th birthday, I updated the autocorrect option on her home laptop that, whenever she typed in her name, it corrected to old lady. Duct tape a harmonica to the grill of your BFF's car. When your loved ones hit 40 miles per hour, they'll all hear beautiful wailing sounds reminiscent of Neil Young. Take a screenshot of the desktop with icons. Make it the background image. Delete the icons. If you're in a position to do it, make them a celebrity for a day. When I was a grad student we did this to one of our professors. About a dozen of us coordinated to offer our students in freshman composition extra credit if they went up to one of our professors and pretended he was a celebrity and asked for his autograph, get a picture taken with him, etc. We made sure to give them all his schedule for the day, let him know where his office was, and just let them loose. He got stopped dozens of times to sign autographs and take pictures. It irritated the hell out of him, but he appreciated the joke. Steal something innocuous, like a pair of distinct socks from their dresser. Mail it to your most remote acquaintance. Have your acquaintance mail it back to your friend without explanation. Ultimately harmless, but their confusion after receiving something of their own in the mail from someone they've never met from a place they've never been is delicious. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.